I failed my anger management test. But yeah, so I saw a guy post in the Discord that he wasn't prepared for that burst in the market. So when the market goes in historical prices, so we're making new highs in the stock market, and to me, it's all just range trading, at an angle. So if the market's trending, there's things you can do about it if you're dynamic enough, order placement wise. Otherwise, you're going to do what this guy's doing, which he's selling this $100 a month simplicity indicator. He's a nice guy. I can't admit it. I just said rubbish on the comment there, but it's all rubbish in a sense. I mean, he's not exactly telling you, look, I got in 5 standard lots here. I got trailing stop, break-even ratios on the entrance, trailing stop. I don't have to worry about it. And this whole simplicity, there is that path, right? That we all see that trade in there. But when we look at the auction, extreme supply and demand zones, I would just say old and new highs. So in the newspaper, you'd see if you were trading stocks, a lot of people would buy stuff this is turtle trading idea, that you just go with the trend and you just keep buying high and selling higher, getting out. So you buy into the excitement, into the drama, and you ride this this friend that's going to become an enemy. Because by the time everybody's indicators catch up and everything starts to sink, you're going to have a confluence. Everybody agrees, yes, that is a bullish situation. And of course, that scalp, you could have scalped Bitcoin. You see how that is? Look at Bitcoin. I mean, did you really fucking think at 63,000 it couldn't pull back? So now that trade is not available to the trend trader. Counter trend trading is not available psychologically to the trend trader. They don't see that trade. It's not important. The time frame they're on, they don't give a fuck. They're 3 days in this trade. This guy was in a trade for 3 days on the 30-minute entry. So he's getting in. I guess he's figured out that his indicator lags. So yeah, if you got one of these trend things, and nothing against the no-nonsense people, I could show you better entries than his late arrow. Like his system's fucking so confirmation-ridden that it's getting in fucking halfway through the goddamn move. Okay, so I failed my anger management class, but I mean, come on, people. Wake the fuck up, This is like the Dominion Poly algorithm that was just revealed. The go to Wolfram, you'll probably find a Dominion listed there now. Wolfram demo, if you really want the insider of modeling. But, so here you are. I look at this chart now in a whole different light than I did before I thought about auctions, instead of kind of smoothing the auction out. Like, so anybody could put a moving average up, and there's nothing magical about his moving average. For 100 a month, right, it's putting arrows in. It's telling you, hey, fuckhead, buy. Now, really what he's really doing here, and too bad he doesn't have the sessions quite queued up, he's got some Fibonacci time shit running in front. It looks like front-running the market there, like giving you the next harmonic cycle, By here, it'll be there. Okay, yeah, but dude, like, when the market goes fucking 3 hours straight up, 150 pips, and you're like, now, if you're on the correct side of that trade, don't you want to get the fuck out? Because that is not going to last. So you may be winning, but you're winning too fast now. So when you're in a trade and all of a sudden you're making a lot of money, you got to wake up to that too, because you either got to have a trailing stop out, which I don't have, and maybe I should start doing this, because it's kind of like airbags in a car, but I usually think I'm skillful enough, or I'm going to be awake at 3 a.m. and get the fuck out, because when the market pops like a pregnant welfare, situation, like when that stuff pops, like look at the backlash here, we don't even need to even listen to this guy fucking talk, okay? But we know what he's trying to do is say, For $100 a month, I got this fucking dumb shit system. Now, if we use a little bit of brain power instead of letting this sloppy, no offense to the trend traders that like this lifestyle of like, it's a buy, look, it's an arrow, you fucking retarded, hit the buy button. Now, at any point along this thing, to just fucking even buy here, it could cost you. And of course, the people that are just like, I can't believe you trade a nano account. Yeah, because if I can trade it with scripts and I can drop like a pant load, I mean, just a complete mess. This guy's up $50 actually on a standard lot. So he's up 5 pips here on this trade. The spread's killing him, I'm sure, on the, maybe it's not. But this, let that go. But, it's about how much are we going to risk on this trade, okay? Are we risking a cup of coffee? So I went to the sushi bar yesterday. Now, this is how fucking bad it is. And I feel like I abused an Asian person. So all you Asian guys out there, I love these guys to death, Come on, let's do some martial arts, right? Let's mix it up a little bit. Get your camera out and let's do fucking high karate. So I saw the guy, where's the fucking chef special? Now they call it the chef special. Like this puts it on some fucking extra level somehow. Because you call it that, because you call it the harmonic sushi pattern, like it's not helping, right? I said, dude, you had twice as much shit. I noticed you raised everything $1 now, and you fucking took and put more fucking guacamole, more cucumber. There's a little slice of fish in there. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I said to the guy, I love you to death. You guys with the cameras, the math, I love you to death, but you fucked up here. And now I got to fucking write a fucking complaint to the goddamn, and these are the cunts that wanted me to wear a mask in there. Fuck you. So I'm boycotting all that shit. You go fuck yourself. It's going to look like this fucking pullback right here, by the way. So here's the anger meets. I notice a lot of my my people that are attracted to me is that I'm angry. I'm not in denial. So I'm impatient and I'm angry and I'm fucking. Can't we all see what's going on here? Like, seriously, Bitcoin? Now, the scalp off the top of that, and I understand people can't handle that trade, but to me, that's the trade. Like, fuck, are you serious? Now, when you watch the markets move for 10 years straight, I swear to God, I've watched it every day. When the market's open, dude, people are into sports. I'm watching the fucking market going, look at this motherfucker. And then the pullback, you're like, holy shit, where'd this pullback come from? Like, what in the fuck is going on here? Well, see here, let me explain. And I figured it out. Like, it just took me so long. Why did it take me so long? I don't know. I guess I was sucked in by this fucking robot. This is also robot trading, right? Your robot sucks dick. I'm sorry. Ryan Brown, for all his, he's done a lot of things. And he has made money, and these robots will run. But I bet my robot that I hand built every week, like so, I'm gonna try to do it this week. I got that that new account to blow up. So this Cedar FX looks like I could run that, run it real time. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna pick a market, and I'm gonna say, you know what, this motherfucker is in an uptrend. Let's run a trailing buy limit bot that buys on 5 to 15 pips all fucking day long. It keeps dropping, let's say 20K every fucking 15 minutes. Now this is trolling. I can also see if it's up. Like, so now if I even take the size to 2K from 1K, that is fucking insane. That's like going from, 5 watts to 10 watts, or from 10 watts to a 100 watt amp. Literally, actually, no, it's like a million watts, right? You're just doubling everything. It's insane, because then the account needs to be at least 4 times bigger, I'm thinking. So risk of ruin, you have to get away from the risk of ruin. When you start with a $500 account and you're able to make $100 a week, that should not be that fucking hard. I mean, this is presupposing you lost 500 and you made 600. So the guy that was talking on the live stream, this is what it's like, okay? This is like having a bunch of bad relationships, I don't know if anybody's ever had that, but you just can't get along with everything, and the market's this organic thing, and it's kind of defiant. It is pissed off. It is fucking angry. Like when you see them bid down, 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 I always feel bad for the currency pair. I feel like calling the country and say, hey, you guys, have you seen the chart of your fucking currency? Do you feel like an interview? I'm like, this guy's a journalist here. This guy that's doing. Tell me, Australia, like if you've seen a fucking monthly chart of your currency, run out in front of the court, and then the guy said, "Oh, no comment." The Federal Reserve of Australia, no comment. Stuff. Watching too many movies, but I like this. At least here. Okay, here's the good start. The good part about no nonsense trading. Okay, all right, yeah, I'll behave. Oh, sure, yeah, I got 4 masks on. Oh, yeah, I got confirmation. No, you should see her credit rating, man. I know. Okay, but look at her house. I mean, she's obviously she's even fed her dog and everything. She hasn't kicked her dog in like a week. She's really, it's going to work. He's so close to his stop here. Jesus fuck. I see, stop flashing. I feel bad for this guy already, but he's probably moved his stop to break even. So he can say, "Oh, I can relax," and he says this in the video. I'm gonna save you all his commentary. He says, "Oh, hey, he's this is so simple. Why fuck this up?" And I bet he went short right here or something, because it's the Renko. This is also the Renko approach to trading. But I'm telling you, auction rules all day long, because it's a sleeper cell. It's the iceberg. It is the crack into. In fact, I'd be long right here on something. In other words, my view of what I see the chart now, and I just see my trades. I'm like, oh yeah, this is no brainer. This is dumb shit trading. Now I can't say that I'm going to get filled. It's not as exciting as trading at the market. And I could go to the 5-minute chart, and I could fuck around at the market. Now the spread's my enemy, right? And for this guy, I don't know what his spread was on this trade, but no commissions. It looks like, I don't know. He's got another language going on, I think. But so sure. At $56, honestly, if I was in this trade right now, I'd probably get the fuck out, because I just get the fuck back in. It depends how many trades you want to do a day, how many trades you want to do a month. So this is the truth of it. Are you going to trade a standard lot and ride that fucker for a month? You could probably make yourself a tidy sum. I mean, fuck, 1,000 pip move in the guppy. If you rode, this is a lot of money, you make $5,000 on fucking half of a standard lot, moves 1,000 pips. So the amount of money, and if you go to the ES, or ES minis, or what are these fucking, psychotic, of course, you're putting down a lot of fucking margin, These are big markets. Why is the margin so high? Because the market's so fucking insane, right? When you're trading Australia versus Euro, you're in a cross rate. This isn't even you're trading a spread. That's not a real thing, So cash to stocks is one level. Now you're in a derivative. As soon as you go to forex, you're in a derivative, right? So it's hard to get your brain around it. You could put up the euro versus the yen, euro versus the pound, euro versus the dollar. You could have this euro-centric or this yen-centric charting, and you can do it like that, because you can go, you look at the euro versus the pound. Now, it takes a little, you can't have moving, okay, you either trade with moving averages or you don't, in my opinion. Of course, for me, it's a distraction to see it on the chart. But I'm seeing now that I'm a grown-up, I guess, about it, accepted the fact that there is a insane, extreme, unfair price and a fair price. So fair prices are when the market's just dicking around. In other words, for the next 4 hours, people agree that, yeah, it's worth that. People are hemming and hawing, and then at some point, it's going to break out of this flag congestion, pennant flag, whatever the coil, you could call it what the fuck you want. Dude, it's paused. It's on pause. It's like a Johnson & Johnson bad vac. It's on pause. Now what do? Well, I say build a position. If you need to make money that day, if you need to make, you don't want any pressure making money. I mean, if you want to, all right, say you play guitar. Do you play scales? I play the most. I just kind of try to relax and play scales without hurting my hand. So I want to explore new scales, right? And I'm actually using the market. Believe it or not, when I play guitar, I'm thinking, oh, this is like a trade I did. Up, back, down, in, out. I mean, seriously, I'm trading like fucking a lot of tickets a day. But I'm smoothing out my fucking wrist, see? I'm on a fucking, it's like a centipede, right? I got 100 feet, dude. I don't give a fuck if you stop me out of a few K here. Now, on the other, so what the art of it is to write for the brokers. So I'm going to write tickets that are just for a certain style of execution, because in a world of you're allowed to make half a pip. You give me a half a pip, almost guaranteed. Okay, so give me. It's still going to cost me a pip because the spread's a half a pip. So if the spread should go to zero, imagine getting filled on a 40K and making $10 because you're making 1 pip per ticket, which means you're only making a half a pip if the spread goes tight. See what I'm saying? And you know, this high frequency trading is bullshit, because I can fucking outplay that any day, because as soon as the spread tightens and the market's dropping and I'm only trying to make 1.5 pips because I wrote the script like that, and I've got a 10K in there, all the market has to do is do a little spiky wikey, and I just made $5, dude. Now just extrapolate that, right? Think about that. That's the fucking trade. In my opinion, that just takes everything out of the picture. You can't get any better fill than that. The spread's zero for a millisecond. The broker's fucking letting you fill that shit. You're practically arbitraging the spread at that point. Or you do arbitrage and you got, like I said, you could, and this is completely limit entry talk. There's no fucking comparison from that. That's two different worlds. See, people just don't get it. They're like, I don't get how you fucking put a grid in there. Well, how are you babysitting this motherfucker? And why would you give a fuck about these prices? In the big picture, they're fucking retarded. Look at the daily charts, and you're like, yeah, I guess we could have just got for that stop hunt on the daily and got in and fucking only risked 10 pips. But yeah, that setup only comes like once every 3 days, right? So why are you looking at all this 30-minute shit for a fucking entry on a goober? I would call it goober because it's like, arrow up buy. Well, the market maker auction view of it is like this. We got this. We've identified these highs here. This started back here, right? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Don't fuck with it. In fact, if you could project forward here, you go for pure horizontal. Now, this is, what are people doing with this line? They don't seem to understand, and I don't want to sound like ICT, but I don't see anybody talking about what do you do about this line? Well, that's resistance. Well, but I thought this was resistance here. Yeah, it's all fucking resistance. In fact, in my opinion, just me. So yeah, like a disclaimer, hey, everything said here is, I'm looking at this forming. So as the market's dropping, and we get to from here to here, on this chart, a half-hour chart, I think this is. I think that's what the system runs on, because he's just taken the half-hour and run a moving average on it. So it's at least it's getting a fucking setup, because it's such a laggy. He's got a pretty laggy-daggy central planning there going on in the middle there. So. I guess the trend stuff, but there's so much you could do about what's going on. This chart must have at least fucking on a half hour. If you were literally able to trade every hour and a half, I'm seeing like, fuck, it's got to be 20 trades on this chart. And I don't know how many days this is. I'm going to say it looks like 3 days. I can't count all these fucking bars. Sorry, I'm not that. I just trade out of my. When I see a market dropping like a whore, I'm like, holy shit, where are we going? So like this. When I see this hole being filled, now I'm just going to focus just on this factor alone. Now I know that there's the trade here that you could have taken to go. It's so hard to see all this shit all at once, I guess, is the problem, right? Because you could say, well, dude, you could just sell here every time it pierces the moving average. No shit. These are amazing entries, right? To sell here. His thing is so fucking late. Like, you should, this thing should be executing sell here, sell here. Yeah, but what do you do about when you put a stop here and your target's here and then the market comes to here and stops you out of the fucking entry it looked like such a great trade. And yeah, oh gosh, and not to mention this fucking move here is so fucking huge that I got buy limits here. So I'm already like long here without even no babysit for me. Limit entry guys are just like, yeah, dude. Just like limit entry here. See, I bought this. I'm against your trend. I just made money. How's that work again? Yeah, it's a fucking half-hour chart. Like, I'm assuming. Let's just imagine it is. I'm not going to fucking... I can't even deal with this guy. But look at all the fucking trades and you lose your mind here. And don't forget about old Joe. He's got his sell limit here. I know there's resistance up here. Damn nabbit, they fucking I fucking got to stop here. My target's down here. Where's your target? Well, down here, way beyond unfair value. So here's where the banks, the smart money, start buying this shit. I guess that's me. The swing traders start buying every fucking dippity do, and the scalpers keep plucking off the counter trends. See. Is this really fucking that hard to see? The question is, are you going to fucking buy that and dump? Because if you don't fucking take that counter trend, dude, if you can't afford buying this, it's all about how much money you got. How much money you got. Nobody talks about the money. Oh, it's like fucking election fraud. You can't talk about it. Dude, look at that algorithm, that poly shit. Did you see that shit? Looks like a Wolfram demo. Fuck me. Okay, let me. Oh, I got to delete objects here. Where's the fucking delete button? Everybody has to fuck with their software. Oh, it's a trash can, is it? Where's that trash can? Oh. I was looking for the trash can and it's a fucking eraser. Anyways. Okay, so my head's going to explode here a little bit, but because I know people don't want to believe it's possible to make money from not having to watch the market. You kind of know in your mind's eye, like what could possibly happen next week with the pound versus the 30-minute chart there. Look at this MetaTrader. So, and look at this thing at the bottom, like, this is when you go, sell, buy, sell. Now, as the market's coming at you, like, are you really going to, okay, you sold here, but aren't you, like, thinking, gosh, we could have sold up here? And this is the box, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, now, what do you do about it? Like, so we know this high exists. We carry this forward. Now, if we have just a pocket of now, this is not, there is a grid that you could place in here, and I can't stretch his chart out vertically, but there's a grid you could place scalps in there. And you could have it so your target is going to be here, right? Because you know that this is where this is the previous top should become a bottom. Buyers should come in there. And just to be on the safe side, you want to scalp something there, and maybe you let the rest of it ride down into the crotch here. This is the previous bottom of the vacuum. So to see these all these things in a it's all happening at the same time. So that's the problem when you look at the chart. It's like if you could listen to a piece of music compressed into, like, it just goes by you like at 10x, there's a song inside of that spike, right? So there's a If you zoom into the 1 minute chart, you see, oh, this is just a beautiful fucking like Elliott wave. I mean, now you can see, I'm sure if you took this guy's goober indicator and run the 5 minute chart, right? That'll also mean that you'd have to sit there and really babysit the market and wait for the arrow and hit the trigger, right? Now, at some point, you're going to figure out that you're late to every fucking entry because this guy waits for confirmation, right? Because he wants to make sure she's not a crack whore. And I get that. You know, this is the lifestyle. This is what people want to think of how things are. And this is your typical chart here. Could be anywhere in time. This half-hour chart actually is a gold mine in the sense that the 15-minute chart is a little noisy from the sense that there are so many fucking signals. And if I had my line chart on top of this, it would just be so. Also with RSI, if you really want to have a goober system, just trade RSI. It's the cleanest indicator. Now, the funny thing is now Nonsense is cutting it down because he doesn't understand the simplicity and the cleanness. It's closing prices only. You can't fuck it up. There's no tweaking it, dude, unless you pick, okay, 1 period RSI, right? How about a 2 period RSI with a 1 period moving average, right? With you're waiting for divergence. You're waiting for momentum. This is a super sensitive mode, though. This is like when you put your pickups right on top of the string. So there's a little bit of, they kind of suck. I like that string sag. You know, you let the cord go and it just sucks and gets howling sounds going. The Hendrix pickup setup, but you know, they're just rubbing on the strings. You grind them in a little bit, you know, lighting a fire. But it's amazing how if you're able to trade that half-hour chart, dude, it's obvious what's going on, right? You're kind of totally in sync with the market. Now, if you step back to the dailies, if this is a daily chart, wow, you know, this guy's going to wait that long for an entry. You can't do it, right? So you got to be half-hour charts there's robots that only run on the half-hour chart. But we can out-trade the robot. I mean, you could just run a moving average crossover system and see when all confirmation, when everybody's really bullish and everybody's really bearish and stuff like that. And also, it's quick money. So the trades on here are just fucking blistering quick. The way he's trading it, he's getting in sloppy. He's already fucking missed all the blistering quick, fast money, get rich quick. And there's so many get rich quicks on here. And the only get poor quick on here is that you're in too big in the wrong direction. You are making money very quickly on this. In 1 hour, there's a 1 hour auction here. So here's the extreme unfair. And once we heal that, the market's always healing itself from the last extremity of insanity. I've never seen these markets in my life. I've never seen anything like this, but I guess I have, right? Everybody would say that when gold was going past 1,000, I was just couldn't fucking believe it. So at 1,400, I sold some actual physical gold that I owned, and I thought, 1,400, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, you out of your fucking mind. Now, I know I went to 1,900, right? But, dude, it came to 1,000, so I could claim I made $400 on that trade. Now, looking back, I would have scaled out. I would scale in, scale out. Now I don't feel the pain. This guy here up $56. I'd be like, let's get out, let's get in, let's get out. Now the frequency of trading. Are you awake? How much coffee did you drink? How much meth did you do? Is your hotkey keyboard not have any beer spilled in it? Can you execute the trade? Are you asleep? Is your tablet? So I got this tablet that the battery is so fucked up, dude. Really? I bought it used, but I don't know if I guess it's like an emergency fucking. So I have to get another thing, and now I just want to get a phone just for my. I bought one of these fucking digital effects that uses a phone to control it. Now I feel like I have to buy another fucking device. Now they'll be tracking me, and everything's gonna fucking fall apart now. I'm just kidding, but I don't care. Let them take me away, right? Boy, what an industry fear is, huh? Anyways, let me go back to this kind of mind-boggling get-rich-quick stuff here I see on this chart. Of course, some of these trades took 4 hours to complete. But some of these only looks like I got a 1 hour auction here. I'm seeing the very tippy top. I say an hour and a half. Let's go an hour and a half, 2 hours. If most of my trades, if you look at the history of my everything I've done on the demos, it's about 4 hours. In 4 hours, I'm getting paid, right? So I'm not in for this. Let's hang out here, and I can really make money quickly because that trade is over. There is no get rich quick because well, there is, but it's momentary. So it happens, but it's rare. You can't go out and get rich quick every day. Now the markets will be dead, and then when they go into these insane moves, to me it's just like wow. Now if you're in that move while it's happening, and you can see where the other guys are going to want to get in, right? You can see where people are cashing out. You can see when it's just harebrained, it's done, right? Like you can't be rooting for your team so much you don't see that you're about to get side hit, because you're just when you trail a stop in the market, you're kind of being a shitty, lazy trader. Right now, I know that, as I said before, the robot. This is different. I got an account that's doing X, and I'm in so big on this account here that has to have a trailing stop. Now, if I'm just trading like this guy is, standard lot back and forth, that's a completely different world than having you just got filled on an insane bank of tickets, and now the market's moving your way, and you're not hitting your targets in time, so you're going into a doji, a pause, and you just got to get the fuck out of something. You got to take something off the table because now your exposure has just gone up. Because even if you're in a so-called trend trade and you got in on a pullback and the market starts to go your favor, you still got to get out of something because you may be wrong. You may be in a fucking larger downtrend. And this is the whole time frame issue. Some guy asked me, what about the time frames? And supply zones don't change, although you can see here, I'm sure if I went to that 4 hour chart, we'd just be top tick Tommy on the dailies. This looks like just retesting the high of the previous day. This is one of those like, wow, that's just like the high. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But what's the cause and effect? Why is the market even doing all this drama? And of course, this is noise here. I'm sure the weekly guys, they're like, this is fucking, what the fuck? You trade that shit? Well, yeah, I've traded this shit way before because these are just, if you don't mind. So if you're trading the euro dollar and you're trading big enough on the euro dollar, and you know what it typically moves like and what kind of money you can make, and so that is going to be what really controls the situation. What's the frequency of the trade when you come into Europe and you see, wow, this thing is crushing into this zone, and like this is a fucking void that's been pent up, and people asking, what do you mean the void? Well, the hole, the vacuum, the uncharted water, I'm going to say, is over here in this. And of course, this is fractal. So there's like if we start from the left of the chart and count all the voids, I'm going to just say, here's a void. There's a void. If I fill in the voids, right, and we make this chart, we'll take the noise out. Those are all trades, right, from a guy that has a system. And this only works on a limit system here. Oh, at the market, I suppose, if you're really going to sell. So there's two sells there, but then you got to buy back, right? So you're either going to trade this as it oscillates literally up and down, and these are all valid trades, presupposing your target and your stop makes sense. Otherwise, you're just going to end up building. And this is totally when you build up. This is also a low volatility situation where you can build a position. Now, I could build a short position or a long and build a complete hedge here. And my insurance policy is I'm going to build a balanced hedge here. And whichever way the wind blows, okay. So when it crashes down, maybe it takes out the stops here. And I've got stops here, imagine, right? I built a position with stops, but my ratios are fucking great, right? here's my exit ratios, but everything's tight in here, and there's going to be shit. There's going to be a battle. Or am I going to put in sell stops here, confirmation, and buy stops here, and keep getting trapped? I think not. I'd rather sell with a stop here, buy with a stop here, sell with a stop here, buy with a stop here. As it oscillates, you build a position at the market. Because okay, but only because you will pay for the rent of this drama. You will make money during this phase. You are building a winning position. Because if you put a sell stop here and a buy stop here, a fucking dumb shit robot could do that, and it's going to get its ass kicked. It's going to sell here. And what is it going to trail a stop and get stopped out here, or stopped out here before it sees this? Or where's my, if I build a position here, this last sell here on the fake breakout, right? That's the fake breakout. See, they trapped everybody. Like everybody's like, look, it's going up, Joe. It's going up like they said it would. We bought right here. Oh shit! And we even had the. Don't forget, we're in buy mode here. You know, whatever the fuck. So if you sell, buy, sell, or you have the robot drop limits, tight limits, and you in a shallow world, you build that. Even when it pops up here, you're actually cashing out of some of your stuff, you know, and you're selling into that. You can't trade this in the United States, by the way. So what I'm saying is, if you're a trader, why would you even, dude, the United States, dude, you can't even you got to wear a mask to trade fucking here. Fuck that shit. What are you, fucking nuts? So, fuck that shit. I cannot believe. So I'm obviously angry for a reason. I'm in the United States. People think, and people are dying to get in here. People are fucking climbing a wall to get in this shithole. You've got to be kidding me, dude. Dude, unless you just need put some liberal tears in your fucking gun, man. Lube it up good. So, and this is why I'm trading basically like, you have to be a guerrilla warfare trader. You know, I just don't get this, well, I'm just going to put on this trade. Yeah, look at this fucking shit, really. But bam, bam, what was that? That just, oof, I don't know. Could be something to do with the big slot of fucking uncharted water up here. Yeah, maybe, huh? So there's your auction, right? You get in here, you get out there, and look at that. Fucking A. I'm in an hour and a half, I made X. Now, how's this look on your equity? I made this trade. Now, this is the ICT, order block, whatever the fuck. I mean, what's so stupid is, dude, I could do that same trade here. Sell. I could sell because it's up. Now, what about the guy that builds a position? He's got bigger balls than this guy. Like, you could build a position. You can, and now if the spread is not going to hurt you, and I don't know what, you know, the pound spread's kind of wide. And the pound's very vicious, right? Half hour straight down, boom. But I got buy limits down here. I got my buy limits down here. I see my trade all over the chart. So I'm sure everybody sees their trade in here, and based on their algorithm or filter or whatever they've chosen to kind of simplify the market, make it so I get my brain around that. Even it works out really. I'll say the most extreme trade I can find on this chart would be to start selling into this vacuum. Now, it doesn't matter, because if I just blindly right now put buy limits here and sell limits here, what's the difference? I'm sure there's a fib handle up here. So this is what it comes down to. I can already see my trade right now is going to be turn on the buy bot, and this is when I'm going to write the script that's going to just make 5 pips. It's going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pips. So imagine the market drops. Even this shit. I'm going to buy a 25K here, and I'm just going to make to the floor. I'm going to cash that. The rest of it maybe here. But in the same token, I got hand placed sell limits here. So I got the robot running. He's going to do the, so here's the taken to extreme. High granular trading is what this is. Because how are you able to walk away from a standard lot entry? And I get it that people do want to do this, But I'm saying the magic is you're on the MT4 platform. You press a button, and of course this is also, there's a problem here. Is this? It's a lot of work. Like I'm going to set up this FX, a couple new accounts, and also the PAM account idea. I still want to do that because I think for $100, you know, I would, if I gave somebody, told them, of course you have to be a responsible person. You say the problem is here is I don't care what you say about, oh, I got this great trading system, I'm a great trader. You still have to be a person that, like the guy was saying on the live thing. How can you need to have a lot of accounts, in my opinion. In other words, you have to have a lot of diversification. You can't have a one trading account. To me is just, it's too hard because you can't tell if you're making money from that idea. If you trade the pound, you better get an account just to trade the pound, because for me, I don't know how people are commingling this shit, right? So each, this way, that account is not exposed to anything unless you decide that on that thing. So people are commingling, I think, a lot of these, and I get that too, right? Because if you don't give a fuck, I suppose it's the difference between having 6 preamps on your guitar, 1 for each string, you know, with bass and treble for each, 3 band EQ on per string. This is like a lot, like a big multi-pin connector going to some brain of insanity, you know. So when you strum it, it just sounds like an orchestra. And there's the guy with 1 pickup just playing a beautiful melody. Well, those 2 things are gorgeous, right, in their own right. And of course, from a script standpoint, the melody is going to be the encrypted, you know, hieroglyphic, etched in the wall, written in stone, 10 Commandments. So, you know, this is, and there's the soft world of, well, dude, I have digital patching, and at a moment I can put you on a fucking wah-wah, and I can make you go fucking surround the sound in the room. Like, so there's 2 worlds now. You know, the old-fashioned trading is like, you know, chiseled in. I'm going along the market. That's just how it is. Deal with it. Or, you know, this super computer nano adjusted. So we're there. You know, let's take advantage of it. Having so with real money, I launched this robot, you know, on about, I was just kind of like, let's just do it. And I put it on 6 currency pairs. And I guess if I got a little bit, and so here's the problem, is that I was too eager to trade, you know. So one of the robots, I forced them to trade twice as much as normal, because actually that day was insane volatility. And I was like, wow, I never traded the Australian dollar. Like, look at this fill I just got. I'm up fucking $6. It's fucking nuts, right? And in one case, you know, 60, yeah, it's not, I'm like, whoa, shit, you know, I'm up $3. This is fucking crazy. Look at this shit. Like, I mean, it's weird because I didn't put the trade on. And I don't know if I'd ever run real money on some harebrained robot that's looking at moving averages, because I could just out trade the fucking thing. Actually, not trading would out trade it. I'd probably save more money. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a robot that can't fucking do. It's retarded. It's like a car that does a 30-degree turn, and that's all it does. Oh, then it'll do a 40-degree turn, but it ran over 5 kids and killed them. Okay, that's a great car you got there. You don't see cars like that every day. So yeah, the smart car, well, the dumb car. I mean, I think people have atrophied in a way. They've given up their shit to some moving average, you know. Okay, moving average, yeah, that'll work. But it's like crazy now, because something has to give. You just can't stretch something that far. And from the standpoint of how deep is your pocket, you know, how deep is your love, you know, it's hard without the MT4. I don't think I'd be doing these trade plans, because I would wait to the end of the fucking day and be like, yeah, I guess we got to get in here and just wait. And that's what we used to do. Okay, we used to trade. How about every month that they would mail me, every week they would mail me a diskette of data this is a $50 a month data club called what they call it. Real, kind of. They would actually do these rollover contracts by volume, and they'd be kind of a seamless. Because the nice thing about forex is that it's a seamless market in a sense, except for the weekends. And Bitcoin's a seamless market now. So we see the data, we see the crowd behavior in all its glory. This is the sugar high, the extreme moves. There's an opportunity there. Anytime a market's making an extreme move, and it's amazing because I'm not a person to buy into new highs. So for me, my trade, I'm just like, yeah, okay, let's lay a grid of sell limits up there and walk away. Now, that's a different mentality, and it's a little more planned out, I suppose. And it's written in stone. That's literally a trade plan that is chiseled in. The kind of high frequency, let's chase the market. And Ryan has written these robots that are just, he's like complaining that the broker's not filling him. Yeah, the execution at Trader's Way sucks dick, right? They put you on some fucking server, I guess, unless you got a gold account or whatever. But you're not even going to be able to get out of that trade. I got other people get me out faster, but so I know that better have the fucking target written in, right? I can't build a position and dump it where I see, holy shit, that's the end of the move. We're right in the vacuum. I'm like, holy shit, you can't see these vacuums. You can't see these little nuances unless you've marked them off on the chart ahead of time. And this is why you just want to find these little nooks and crannies, supply and demand zones, and like a previous doji will be typically revisited. This is not also written in stone, but having a cluster of orders down there, it really comes down to will your broker let you make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pips in a rack of say 40K. Because if you can do that trade over and over, and we can see that trade, imagine you've got, it's hard to imagine, but it's possible, and I do it because it's the only way to do it, is you say you got 80K stacked up down here on the chart waiting to get filled, and you just hand place a bank down there, and if you can't get to the chart and you can't babysit the market, it's going to be the trade. But I go a step further and say that I put in the placement of the grid. If I buy a 1K, this is just the starting plan. Okay, I'll buy 4K. I'm like, yeah, that would be amazing. Now I'm like, well, let's put in a stack of tickets here that's going to be my scalps that live inside of this swing trade. So I know that trade plan and that may be on a different broker, and it probably should be, even though you're in the same currency. So I'm going to go a step further in diversification, that you have a scalp, you're in the one currency, all you trade is the euro or whatever it is. And this is just a way to make trading get more and more like broken down into the smallest parts you could possibly go. Is a 1K. You got 3 accounts, and all they do is trade the euro. And one of them's got a swing trade going. One of them's got one is a trade you could an account that you could trade while you're driving the car on a tablet. So you have a tablet execution, and you're able to take advantage of that. And maybe the third account has your robot that you're telling. Just like if you had a trading assistant, you're like, hey, bitch, will you put this trade on for me? Like, I gotta go sleep. Like, what the fuck? I ain't gonna place all these orders. And it really is. I mean, here, I'll tell you what, it doesn't seem like work, but you can get tendonitis fucking with this mouse. And you can get fatigued, and really, like, unless you have the proper amount of coffee, it's a lot of desk work, and it's a lot of focus, and it's a mental thing. It's also, getting the targets, and I know this is going to go against what people think, but sometimes you need to risk 40 pips to make 20 pips, and you got to risk 10 pips to make 5 pips. And you can't have all your trades like that, but you got to have some like that because it's about money. If I put a 10 pip stop and a 15 pip stop, and I'm only trying to make less than break even on those trades, that those are scalps. I'm out, and for what this guy has on his stop on a standard lot, I can afford to take 20K and put bad ratios on that. But this all or nothing. See, people keep on. I'm talking about anybody that's new to what I'm doing. Is I don't see that. Wow, this is just lazy. A standard lot, dude. I'm 100 times more diversified, and I'm on one fucking thing. I mean, I'm not trading micro lots across 20 pairs. Now, I just went long into the close. I went long the dollar against the yen. So, not a big position. I'll hold over the weekend, see what happens. I don't want to get back in. See, I don't want to repay. Here's the thing: I don't want to repay the spread or the commissions on those swing trades. Now, if you have a really fast broker that you could chase the market, make money, and you got the ticket ready to go. Half of this is about having your ticket ready to go. Are you prepared for these moves? If the market starts to break out, are you the kind of guy that can chase it? You have your certainty level of confirmation is so high you would just buy. As soon as, oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, it's breaking. Or are you gonna buy, and then you look left and vacuums leave clues, and you say, oh, I think we just went and made I think we just are about to go reverseville, because this is like I have got trapped in a fake breakout. And there's so many fake breakouts in a sense, because sure, it breaks out for a little while, like no nonsense says, sure, they'll let you have money for a little while in that breakout trade, but then they come back and they bite you in the ass. Well, you don't feel it. If you're in a 1K, you don't feel the bite, or nano a lot. But if you can dance with the market and see, like I'm talking about trading at the market, you see it's up. So if I really want to, and this takes a lot of energy and work, but you make more money, you get your hockey keyboard out, you get your trade plans racked up, you wait for fucking London Open, you got buy and sell tickets ready to go. You got to have the take profit, and typically, this is why you want to trade one thing at a time, because if you take all profits on so you see your accounts way up in the morning and you go, oh shit. There's nothing wrong with, you're better off just taking all profits at the end of the session, or going flat, like you're from Canada. So you could go flat at the end of the day, because you know why? It's a whole new day after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so the New York market kind of is the boat anchor on the, this is the beginning and the end. And you come to the Asian session, and this is where you can build a position for a direction. And we can see the Asian breakout trap, and the whole, if you just, I hate to say back test, but you got to take a half-hour chart and run it with any EA, doesn't matter. And you should be able to call out the trades. What would you do now? Like every half hour, what is your trade plan? And what is your next? What can you see coming that you need to plan for? Because that is where all the money's at. All the money in this chart is in what people would consider to be the reversals are where the money's at. So it's funny, the name of this guy's video is How to Trade Reversal Trends. I just want to trade the reversal. He's getting in late, so he considers this to be the entry point. Because the trend reversed here, see? Dude, it reversed down here, didn't it? Now, when it comes down, so intermingled into the swing trade, so I've got the 3 accounts. This is by the safest way to trade, right? How could you fuck this up? Because one account isn't even going to trade, maybe. And I guess I'm taking to an extreme, but this would also kind of make it easier to say, well, on the swing account, I'm going to put in big tickets here, a couple sleeper sells down here. And when the market comes down on this particular time and it starts to rifle down and I get filled on this first ticket. Now, this is the big ass stop on this one. Don't forget, this has the jumbo stop. And this stop is way down here. Like crazy, right? And the target is up here. It's a break-even ticket, don't forget, right? And it hits the target. It hits the target. And this trade is the same thing. The target's here and the stop is here. Now, this is all grid trading. This has more risk. And this one has a psycho amount of risk down here. And the target is here, right? Because it's a lower entry. And this one, the target's here. And the stop is way down in hell. Oh, shit. Stuck in drawing mode there. Just blew up my double click's not clicking very well.
Routine, okay?
Oh, shit. So, oh no, copyright infringement. I let him speak. So this cycle of the market going up and down here. So I'm jumping around, but I don't speak about stop entry because to me the markets need to be traded from at the market standpoint on the clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The market just fucking is trapped underneath a supply zone, or it's down. It's half hour. It's down by. Now do you have to buy? No, but that's a buy signal. And if you're short, you're probably getting out of something. Hopefully, you've made money in half an hour. So I'm trying to get rich on the half hour. Now, if it's 5 bars, and people will say, "Well, what time frame?" Okay. If you're on the RSI. And you have a half hour chart, it's going to take you about 2 hours to get a setup. And a setup meaning a momentum based entry on the half hour. Like you literally, I know you don't want to, but at the market, you have to take more risk. You have to buy one at the market because it's down. And so at the end of the market, I bought 10 minutes before the close on the dollar yen. Because I build a position of the market. Now, these are kind of not risky for people that trade like this guy. But for me, it's still, I never want to lose any money. I always want to make good decisions. So the more I trade on limits, the better the decision is. But of course, now it's to confirmation. I'm also looking for confirmation. My confirmation is they filled my ticket. I'm not waiting for the indicator to confirm, and now I come in with market orders. That's retarded. No, my confirmation is, look, I got filled in this fucking thing. Look at this shit. And then, do I scalp that? So that's the big issue. I just got filled in a 20K, and I'm up fucking $10. I'm probably gonna get out because you know what? There's no fucking way that's going to become a $100 winner. There's no fucking way, dude. So I'll take the $10 and I go, okay, it's $10. You know, I could sit there and babysit the market, make $100 an hour in a quiet market if I'm in a certain size. But then what happens when the market goes fucking nuts? London opens, it's smashing down fucking. Now, you could trade into that London breakout. In other words, you could trade the London breakout, but at some point, after the market's done going Psychoville into this big slot here, this big situation, Then what, right? I mean, here is the defined floor that we know that everybody knows about this pivot. How many people are going to cash out into that? I know that I'm going to do that. If I just gobbled up, don't forget buy limits in the swing account here, or even the swing account, I'm probably going to get out. Why would you do that? Well, because I don't have the patience. And this is when you're going to find out whether you're a swing trader. If you bought here, you bought here, you bought here, like, yeah, I got this fucking 3K. Maybe these are fucking 10Ks. So you're in 30K now. This ticket gets out, say, here. These are break-even stops, and it has a stop here. This ticket gets out here with a stop here, and this ticket gets out here with a stop here. Now, if you look to the right, you're like, well, that was fucking great. You scaled out here. Look at this. Right there, right on the fib, you're getting out just like where I am. And yeah, well, there's a bunch of people selling in here, though, just for that little trade and this and that. And here's the flag, and the breakout traders say, I put buy stops here. And what are you talking about? It's fucking uptrend. Well, don't be a fucking idiot. So the no-nonsense people are saying, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. We got in here. This is a bull flag. We got the moving average confirmed. We're in green mode. Shut the fuck up. We buy here. We get out. We take something out. We ran a trailing stop. Look how much money we made. Shut the fuck up. I go, yeah, I know, but dude, I already traded this shit down here, and I could. Here's the top become a bottom. I could get in here. I could have scalped here, and I'm trading really big, maybe. And here, into the vacuum. The sellers come in. At the floor. I'm out. I'm not getting in here, and I'm not riding a fucking 5 standard lots. I can't take it. I can not psychologically deal with it, because I'd rather trade 2 standard lots here and just be like, dude, I just made fucking X. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not sitting in this fuck. This is what. So you got to figure out who you are. And do you want to get rich quick or get rich slow? And I say get rich quick. Now, if you put up a get rich quick forex, and that might be my next stunt. No, I'd be like, no, that's just get rich quick. You got a buy limit sitting in this sweet, I guess was the order block here. Disclaimer, order block alert, but this is obviously the richest fucking most. Now, even if you sold here in the supply zone up here, these are just clean auction trades. Ignore the moving average for the moment. I know you got in here and you put a sell stop here, and you got in here and said it's going down, and you put your sell stop here and you made X. I know that you did that fucking trade. Shut up. I know, no nonsense. Well, yeah, what you got in here on the pullback 618? Fuck you. Look, I got it. But dude, there's people around you that are going, you're full of shit. Like, and look at this. Here's where it goes into green mode. Buy. Hey, everybody, buy. This is where the robot gets his ass kicked. I guarantee you. Oh, buy, everybody. It's going up. See? Look it. And then what happened? Oh, yikes. Yeah, because maybe this is the magnet. This is sucking. The great sucking sound. This fucking vacuum here needs to be paid. And we've gone into top tick Tommy full auction mode. Bam. And then just another. But fractally speaking, in other words, all the mini traps here are buy. Like, confirmation buy. Wah. Oh, I keep getting fucking. Every time I buy it, just stop me out. I buy it. It's uptrend. I keep buying. Yeah, dude. Because if you got even the trailing robot that I'm running on the half hours is gobbling up and making money. I'm making money during the flag while you have Goober has a buy stop here, sell stop here, and he runs a break even and he makes money. Gotcha. I gotcha. But dude, you're gonna get chopped to fucking death on that shit at some point, because it's gonna go into this mode. Well, I keep getting trapped. My robot's just I gotta redesign, reoptimize the algorithm. This is what no nonsense is trying to do. He updated his fucking robots on the volatility, and now what? The volatility pauses. and the robot gets butt fucked without lube. In fact, got like talcum powder in there. Johnson & Johnson talc up your ass. Right? This is what happens to people. I say fuck that. I say when market opens Sunday, let's start trading this shit. Yeah, the market could plunge. I'm going to put my trade plan in. I'm going to go sleep. I'll sleep real good with buy limits down here all fucking day. What do I give a fuck? What I give a fuck about is if the market does a dippity-do like this, any one of these dippity-doos, now from the big swing trader's view, he buys, the banks buy here, the big deep pockets, no stops. You buy. You martingale in, you're in fucking 40 standard lots buy here. When it comes to the floor, you cash out. Obviously. And look at this. So there's so many things pulling at the market. I just think it's a fact. This is not even people's auction theory. Dude. And look at this vacuum underneath the moving average. This is pent up demand. And so it's the vac of the vac. And look at that vacuum is underneath this vacuum, which means this is Crazyville extreme. And if you bought below here, man, wow. And that was, you just can't, this is what people can't believe. And of course, just think, look at this beautiful trend is so lush. And like we come back to here, another sell signal for the robot to go short. Wah, wah, wah. What happened? Oh, gee, I don't know. What? My indicator's caught up in everything. And then, well, I finally got in here. Yeah, but, you know, even a buy stop, sell stop system should have got in here. If it's bracketed, what time frame though? Because there's a breakout here. In fact, every doji on here is a trade too. Here's an entry. If you just look at the dojis, like, yeah, fucking A, low risk entry. Market's dead. Look at this. A doji just before the last wick hunt. But there's a guy making money from this move. There's a guy making money from this move. Any half hour on in 4 hours. So here I want to say 20 trades on this chart. Amazing trades. You got a buy limit below that wick. So if you're going to build, if you think that's in an uptrend, you buy every pullback. You should be long at least 8 positions here. Buy every pullback. Never buy a fucking rally in an uptrend. Just buy, but people are like, it looks like it's tanking. Man, it's going to turn like it did here. You know, it betrayed me over here. You know, I bought every pullback here and look what happened. I got great prices. Yeah, but if you don't scalp something out of that, every time you buy, you got to, if you buy, you got to buy 3. You got to buy 1 at the market, 1 on a limit, and another 1 on a limit. If you wanted, I would say buy 1 at the market, 1 on a limit. Every half hour goes by, you buy 1 at the market and put a limit below. Maybe the limit doesn't fill. It's up, you sell on a limit. Now, when it comes down a little bit, you've got to take that profit because you should be buying by the same token. Of course, this little mini vac behind gets backfilled. You know, backfill, what do you call it? You could also build a short position in here, and you would have made money on these pullbacks, and they stop you out, you're fucked, right? Because you think, oh, well, yeah, it's trapped up here, and it's just going to cave back into here, and we're going to go this way. It's okay because if you can trade, you can't sell the biggest house on the street every day. You have to sell a little shitty house. And the people that make the most amount of money are selling volume. They're selling a lot of stuff. People talk about trading volume. It's your trading volume that's going to matter. Are you putting on a bunch of really good trades? And it's so dropping these grids in here, or hand placed grids, is certainly a thought out trade. Like if I place in buy limits in here, and this is going to be a huge, maybe another, this is a big contention forward. This is going to be a really important price, but anything on the way down is important. And you may put weight on this and say, but in a sense, all you're really doing, and this is kind of hard to believe, all you're really doing is saying, I'll buy a 1K, a 2K, a 3K, a 4K, a 5K, and that's what I'm doing. I'm literally saying I will sell a 1K, a 2K, and the higher it goes, the more I sell, and finally I get paid. But this is a defiant trading system. I'm trading reversals. 80% of the market's ranging. It only makes sense to range trade with it, which means you're going to have to literally trade every zigzag, in a sense, to optimize and do it, and make it okay to go underwater, which is not really available to most people. Anything above this box, by the same token of buying this box down here and selling this box up here, is that you are now completely at your first bad entry if you consider this to be you sold here, now don't forget you sold the 1K and 2K, you martingaled in, here you sold real fucking heavy, right? But built into that ticket had to be, and don't forget, Top Tick Tommy is buying here, and you're selling there, and see how in 1 fucking hour you made X. There's the auction. This is the distribution phase. This is the phase that I believe we're in the Euro right now. At least I'm betting a lot of money we're there. So, but I've been trading this thing. Can you trade this and make money and still be short in the long? I think this whole trade would be over here, and right now I'd be buying for a move here. But I'm writing stuff that trades like this. Like I can make those pips. Like I could trade the zigzags on the way down. But if I got my buy clusters in here, this is the inventory. Inventory for me is this. Not necessarily that this makes any sense to get in here, although if you got enough money, when the account gets big enough, you literally don't give a fuck, and you can just do it. I'm buying a fucking 80K by the time we get here, because I know I'm going to get some kind of, and I could certainly extrapolate a million scenarios for this, and you should, because if you buy below here, you got to get out here, if that makes sense. Anything below, anything in the next box coming into this market, I'm just buying in here simply. That's all there's to it. And I'm going to just dedicate the account to that trade, and maybe the account's a stop. I don't need stops. I can just right mouse click and place limits in here. But I got to come back and I got to pay attention, make sure if I don't have any stops or targets, I got to get out. But so if I'm going to buy a 10K here, and here I'm going to buy a 3K, and here I'm going to buy a 1K. And here is like, I know my exits have to be to here and to here. So the exit at the top of the box, market comes in, right? It's going to smash down in, and it's going to fill. Now, these could be the swing trades. These are looking to make money here, and this could have a tight stop on it, and it already got stopped out. That's okay. I don't care. Dude, I got fucking 80K down here maybe. And I would start a big chunk here. A big, what do we call, iceberg, or giant dark pool of pendings. We all know that there's going to be so much fucking drama that, and if you buy a standard lot here and you scalp to here, and you buy a standard lot here, and you kind of want to take the whole position off if you're a scalper, is when you come flying back into this floor. We can see all of the floors setting up. So if we bought this slot, we would have cashed out that trade. If we would have sold this top, we would have cashed out here. Buy here, sell here. Now, this is a gold mine, in my opinion, if you know how to, if you kind of get to the market every 2 hours. So on a half-hour chart, you got a high-frequency system there. I mean, in the sense that you're trading a lot. Not high-speed market execution. You don't even need that. Although I am getting out at the market. So I'm actually taking profits at the market. If I'm going to buy at the market and on limits, and I see that I'm up and we're in the tippity top, I'm going to cash out all my winnings. I'm not expecting this to go to the moon. So if the session comes to an end there, seem to get my mouse is already dying. This gear is so cheap. There's only one choice for my Logitech $30 mouse. I should just buy a fleet of them. And people get all caught up in, let's see this pattern here. That's what I look for. And I put a buy stop here on a sell stop there, and I got an uptrend confirmation. I don't even know what you're talking about. Would you stop cutting into the no-nonsense guy? He wrote a book, for God's sakes. Yeah, but, I mean, it's just so brutal. This is what really sold me on it. These subtle little, wow, look at that, like top tick Tommy entries. My Lord. That is such a rare event, though. Get rich quick, rarely. I guess you have to put a little bit of a subtitle on that get rich quick and the asterisk. But like this, to me, is a little gem. This little mini vac here, of course, if I could have a robot that could sense, how big is that vac? Of course, I swear, it's just not worth it. By the time you code that bitch, I'm already going to say, well, even this is a nice scalp. Before the plunge, this is the looming vacuum now. Everybody's aware of this, like, holy shit. And of course, on the dailies, this could actually be taking out the low of a week somehow. And all these little scalps here. And of course, if you have the bad ratios, you could probably endure some of these entries. So you're going to buy here with a stop here. You're going to buy this with a stop here. Bad ratio, right? But this one's only trying to make X. So getting what are the trade plans for your bad tickets or your bad, supposed to be, according to the world, but it's about how much you're risking dollar-wise. I'm not going to say the ratio is bad. The ratio is irrelevant. It's how much is that trade. So if you risk 50 pips to make 20 pips, how much is it going to cost you? That trade will make 20 pips way more often if it's done in a dollar. You got the money to burn. Better than a lottery ticket. Way more high probability, especially if you can perceive the opportunity. A 10 pip stop to make 5 pips is going to make 5 pips more often than a 5 pip stop to make 10 pips. It's very difficult to double your money. And this is the ratio argument is kind of silly if you don't consider, how much money are we talking about? And if you're going to put tight stops in, yes, you could be wrong 5 times and still make a lot of money, because if you don't mind, and I do mind, like when they stop me out, I'm like, you motherfuckers. Now, I don't think that feeling's ever going to go away from me. So I just trade with it, and the scripts are built upon that. And this is the danger, is that if you you build a robot that trades like you, and you're not really, that good a trader, or you're making money. What would you say? How would you describe that? If you're not if the robot's supposed to make it more objective, you got to be careful not to put your moving average system into the robot. I guess maybe if you're trading well, you could replicate it in robot form. I guess this is the big fork in the road for people. Of course, you could take both paths, and it's not like the road less travel, which is a heartbreaking situation where you can't be one traveler and be on both roads. But you can in forex, because you could have one account that's trading like a goober, and then you're a fucking market more, and you could do a little competition at the end of the week between 2 accounts. Who's making more money? The swing trader or the trend trader, or who is winning the battle of money? And so you got your scalp account, and you got your shitty spread bad execution account that's swing trading, because you don't need any great execution for that. And then you got your hotkeys just set up on this one account, and in the background you've got maybe 2 or 3 accounts. That's going to help out a lot. So having all or nothing, all your eggs in one basket, pretty tough sledding. And the guy that was, people were on this stream that I did maybe 3 weeks ago, the crypto guy, it's really about, do you even need the money? If you got that kind of fucking money, it's incredible how much money people throw at these markets. Of course, they do make money. But if you made money randomly, you didn't know how you made it. So here's all the big kind of tough situation is that if you don't know why you're making money, that may not be good. Because just like if you don't know why you're losing money, they would say that's really bad. But it might even be just as bad to make money. And you're like, I don't know how I did that. Kind of replicate it. So if you just all of a sudden, 1,000 monkeys, or, type out the works of Shakespeare. Oh, how often does that going to happen? And of course, can you live with that kind of algorithm? That kind of certainty? Certainty and happiness, they go together. So people want confirmation. I want a simple system. I don't want to have to think about this. I got enough fucking problems. I got my kids on fucking heroin over here. So, you need a fresh needle, son? Life has, and I didn't get to the platform, and I got this fucking $100 a month. Honey, I got an arrow. I got to wait, get out of my way. I got to pull the buy trigger. Yeah, I can put the kids feed the kids under the door. I got to put a trade on. How people do it, right? That's the reason why the robot makes sense, because robot doesn't have emotional issues. And so I'm using my robot in the most dull sense of, it's just an execution. It's a trading assistant, and I'm telling it exactly what to do. I know exactly what it's going to do. I don't have any. It's going to so. If this market was open here, I could go to sleep and let the robot keep refreshing, which is something I don't want to do. These ridiculous trade plans I'm putting in. It's going to put buy limits here. For every 2 hours, it's going to drop 4-hour scripts, and if the market moves, of course, that may not be. That's not really a. Let's just do it. 1 hour scripts. It drops every hour, and they last for an hour. This way, we have constant exposure, and we have a known risk. Because if we let them stack up, what I've tested, and just if you just use your brain, you're going to end up with. You may buy at the same price. So let's not do that. Let's just make the script bigger. So every hour, it's putting in a unique trade plan. We don't get duplication in trades. Because if we keep dropping, this is the flaw that I made the day I ran my robot raw. This sounds bad, but bareback, and it's like a road rash because, you cannot have this thing stacking up. And it looks great on the equity curve when you look at when it does make money. You're like, holy shit! But this is not what we want, because we don't want to lose the. Otherwise, just make the robot do 2Ks, and just go with the idea that you are going to put 2Ks in, and it's going to drop these arrays in front of the market. Also, the sell side, I don't want to run a sell bot here, right? Because my sell bot would be very tight. It would be a trend sell bot. So a trend buy bot would be, let's run, and I got the robot. It does run. And I'm going to run it on this. I'm going to babysit the robot, make sure it does what I want it to do. And I know the code in there. I keep saying this, but now this is it's called ticket launch in the, I'll put it in the thing there. It's called ticket launch. And if you can figure out how to fucking get that thing to fucking respond to the settings it claims it has, bless the guy's heart that made it for free, but I have no fucking clue why this thing does not. And it just, MetaTrader ignores it. In a live situation, though, backtesting it does what it's supposed to do in backtesting, although you better be careful. You have to choose, you have to keep things simple. You have to do a 1 hour chart with a 1 hour script, really. To get into complicated stacking of tickets, which is martingaling in a sense, because if it keeps driving down and you keep putting in longer lasting, and have back tested with orders that last all week, this is inconceivable to reality because the broker is probably not going to let you keep dropping orders every fucking hour that lasts a week because you're going to reach a limit. They're not going to let you put in. There's only a few brokers that let you put in like 10,000 1Ks. Okay, so you got to make those 2Ks, and it's a far cry from this guy's standard lot here. So there's a world between that, and there's a guy on the Discord that's doing nano. He says nano life, nano life forex. But you know what? He manual trades it. Now this comes down to personality and comes down to there is no holy grail of size execution account, and risking 2% of your account is the most silly comment in the fucking world because it's 2% of $1 million. I would say, yeah, I'd risk 1%. In fact, I'm risking less than that in a sense, dynamically, because if these orders do not fill, and in a fast market, so when London opens, I could turn on, or I could make the robot, and I think that's the only thing that does work on this robot, is when is it going to trade? So if my half-hour robots start coming in on the euro to the yen, the pound to the yen, the guppy, then the guppy bot needs to be tuned to accept this widespread, and the targets need to be, and it's going to cost more to run that robot, and is that robot going to run on the same account, or is there a dedicated account for that? And now it becomes work, right? So in the beginning, I cannot tell you how absolutely excited I was about this whole Forex thing before they outlawed it. And I'm not kidding. I was like a junkie. I was so deep in, and I just couldn't. It was the most obsessive situation. And the MT4 is so fascinating, because I thought, look at this fucking platform. I mean, actually executes trades, just mind-boggling. When I first saw the expert advisors, I go, expert advisor, my ass. I was so pissed off. I go, how dare you? I know I'm the expert here. And so, but I can see the use for it, it's just in the indicators and all the pretty colors too. So the attraction, technically, and then of course the industry changes and things happen, and the landscape's pretty rugged there. But it seems like everything gets smashed. The restaurants got smashed by these people that aren't used to getting sick. Hello, yeah. So you designed a virus. I got it. You designed a high-end, contagious cold virus in a lab. Got it. It got out. Duh. I mean, we've all seen these movies, like the guy that takes the rabbit home from the experimental thing and decides to have sex with it. Turns out it eats dick. It eats dick for a living. We've seen these kind of horrifying, adrenaline strain situations. And now we're living in it. And everybody gets burned by these things. So the financial debacle hits Forex. And of course, if you're making money from finance, you better have a good accountant, right? And that's a whole world, right? And there's a guy digging a ditch making with a backhoe that he owns himself, and he probably $100 an hour. Hey, I'll dig a fucking trench. He loves it. Look at what I did. There is some satisfying work in real work. So now I'm working on my guitar, trying to make it sound better, and that's like a real physical deal. There's no clicking, there's no script. But I thought, geez, it's kind of magical thought of like, if I just had and I did these trades at these brokers where I launched my first scripts, and these harebrained scripts that had 100 pip stops on them, So I don't want to get stopped out. At that point, I was putting my trade plan in, and I was trading without stops up to that point, actually. The whole count was a stop. So I'd take a $300 count and just flip it and just keep getting up to like $1,000 or $5,000 and just blow it up, Because I didn't care. I had enough money then. I didn't care, and I was doing this on several accounts, and I thought, there's no big deal about flipping an account, And it was exciting and fun. And then I thought, wow, you could make money doing this. Of course, that would presuppose you would take out your money, and opening the account was work, right? And I had so much enthusiasm that I didn't mind opening account after account and being denied. And one of these accounts I'll never forget. They're probably still out there. Windsor Forex or something. Windsor Trading. And they were unique because they let me trade the Dow Jones, and it's so cute. They wanted a financial statement from me and some kind of, they wanted to fill out real forms and fax them back to them and stuff. They were out of Cyprus. They were like a big retail, I guess you'd call them the, oh God, Windsor Brokers, I think it was called, or something silly. They're probably still there. And they were all like, this and that. And they're pretty good. They let me trade gold and silver. I did a silver trade there. When silver was at $60, I put on my phone, I executed a few short, without stops, of course. That counts as stop. And I was putting my money in using this, I call it the original Bitcoin. It was, of course, it wasn't traded on the markets, but this is how you did it. It was Liberty Reserve. It was a peer-to-peer transfer, and the guy that owned it was charging 50 cents per trade flat fee, and he was, they took him out of his house over there in Costa Rica or something. In his Rolls Royce, he was making a lot of money, but they claimed it was like a Silk Road, and the guy was, assassinating people with the money in there. Well, it was just basically, I guess they call it money laundering, but I call it like freedom. As Bitcoin is apparently. But the problem with Bitcoin right now is fundamentally, and I hate to talk about fundamentals, but is that this, I kept asking people, what is that fucking, I heard in the news about, and it turns out Coinbase is this basically going to bring an end to Bitcoin's volatility and kind of, I would say, just top the market. It reminds me of when they started trading on the exchange in Chicago. That kind of topped the market out, like, yeah, nah. So Bitcoin probably, we've had it in Bitcoin now, and I'm going to say the volatility is going to dry up from a bullish and bearish standpoint. I can't imagine, we've been kind of dead in the water here. We had that pop. So is that the trap? I'm calling trap on the weekly, but once again, I'm not a long-term trader, so these are just speculations that don't have any money behind them, and I'm not taking these trades. For me, the trade's come and gone. I like the flash crash. So this is a personal thing. I like to make money quickly. I don't want to be in the trade that long, and I also don't want to babysit what I know is probably going to happen. So the limit trade is based in the limit bot, which is the same thing. Now the limit bot is a convenience, and it's a labor-saving device, like when you have that rod you stick in the wall to find out, to fish wires through the wall, because you don't want to tear the wall apart and rebuild it. And this is just how it is. And so the robot that's aggressive, that's say trading, every 15 minutes is dropping a rack of limits. I don't know anybody that's doing that. So I'd be the first, I'm going to say, if you know anybody that's doing that. And we would do that on particular currency pairs, and we could do that and just see what happens. Or I'm going to see what happens with that particular robot. Babysit that one, make sure it's good to go. They're like an employee, right? Show them the guidelines and let them go. Because nothing you do is going to change reality that the markets go up and down. Can you sell high and buy low? Sure. But would you buy 2% on $1 million account on one position and say, I'm risking 2% a day? That'd be insane, right? Even the Holy Grail bot's going to be wrong sometimes. And if you have that good ratio, you're going to churn the account. You're going to pay commissions on the spread over and over again with tight stops and stopped out. And I'm not psychologically available to get punched in. Like, if you keep poking me, I'm going to bitch slap you. So, I'm not up for that. I would rather go underwater on a 1K than get stopped out of a 10K. Okay? That's just my view of the market. Because why would I babysit such a silly, low-risk trade that's risking 0.001% of my account? Say I got a $1,000 account and I'm in a 20K. That's not even trading. I mean, now if I'm in a 100K with a $1,000 account, that's about the max. And I got to get out of 20K in the next half hour. So I don't want the exposure over time. Now, maybe you psychologically, you've been in stocks and you've traded, you've held things for 3 months. That's not going to be me. Even though if I look back at the chart, I go, dude, I'd be up 50 grand right now if I held that position. Yeah, but, okay, if I'm up 20 grand, I'm out because I can refresh and take that money and do what I do on the 1 hour chart. And I can just trade high probability kind of unfair value that happens once a week. Whereas you may be in a trade for 6 months. And I've met these traders, talking to a lot of traders. And some people are like, I've been in that trade for 3 years. I'm like, holy fuck me. Are you going to get out? Like, I know people that are still long Bitcoin. I'm like, are you fucking, how do you do it? Like the guy that's, the chubby chasers. I'm like, how do you do it? She's got a great personality. So, but she's got conversationalist. She better be. Holy shit. Baby needs a truck, So, nothing against that, I guess they're going to put a fucking he-she into the fucking office there in California. That's a perfect fit. Can I be how about a guy that's like super, super macho? How about Macho Man? You know that song that the greatest president used to dance to. So this kind of tempting the market with limits, that's my favorite thing. So you don't have to do it. I'm just saying this is a easy way to do that. The same thing up here. I could keep launching, and maybe the swing bot's putting in a different trade plan, and it's going to pick up a few tickets there, but ratio wise and how much money's in the account, same thing here. I would probably run a sell bot. If I see this, I'm like, you know what, even here, when it's going up like this, I got the buy bot running. Now the expiration on the tickets is going to keep me out of stuff like this, right? We're only going to pick up or sifting, and it's like I keep coming back. When I thought of this idea, the first time I thought of this, I kept coming back to this. When as a kid, I was watching Batman. And Mr. Freeze, I don't know if you remember Mr. Freeze, he was able to freeze out cubicles in the room. And I thought, yeah, that's it. Because that cubicle disappears, you move over here. And eventually, Mr. Freeze would just freeze you out of every cubicle. And you couldn't fucking move. Mr. Freeze, it was too cool. They had overlays. I looked it up. See the images on... and it's so bizarre because back then that was like pretty creative. The guy was able to put an overlay on top of the film and make it look like this template, like this transparency of the freeze zone. It's pretty cool. But yeah, like this to me is just like, wow, when it does that move, I'm like, yes, like sell at the market. Of course, I haven't been able to design the sell at the market bot that when it only trades these extremes, so it would buy here, it would actually get burned on that trade, but this trade would make money. So every half hour there's a trade on here, or it's coming into a limit bank that I've placed, and now it's a trade I got to worry about from the standpoint of, do I let it play out to the structure, or did I have my targets too greedy? I'm just going to have to take the whole position off, go flat. You can't go wrong with making money going flat. You really can't. So from this, I keep looking at this amazing situation here where he's selling at the market, and you got the sell limits here. And when it comes down, buy at the market, and the trend traders buy at the market with a wide enough stop, Now here's where you're going to get burned. You got a wide stop on that one. You're only trying to make this. But you bought here, and you're only trying to make this. This one paid for that. And did you buy here for that? And also, did you sell all your ups? Now, once you get a bias going, this is where you're never able to range trade because you can't see the sell here into the floor. But if you bought here, you got to get out. Maybe you got to sell, change your mind, because maybe you think that this is the floor, it's going to go here, and then it's going to go here. All that was a stop hunt in the big uptrend, right? There's going to be that view commingled. That's why if you're running 40 tickets, if you're running 80 tickets, and some of them make money and some of them don't, at the end of the day, okay, you're down $100, right? You were at 600, now you're at 400. You're down $200 in a day, but you still got $400 in the account, or $5,000 or whatever it is. I'm typically not going to leave $5,000 in an account. I don't want to have too much money in an account. That's another thing. People are like, "What? All my money's safe overseas." You got $20,000 in there? Okay, well, I guess. I mean, at least put never more than $10,000 in your account, right? I mean, what if you can't take $10,000 and risk $1,000 a week to make $2,000 a week? In my opinion, do something else, because that's about the threshold. Yeah, you don't want $500,000 out miles away from you, maybe, right? So this is another psychological barrier to risk. And that what could be riskier than, well, there's no risk for me. I'm using my moving average goober. It says buy right here. I don't see any risk on here. Buy, run, trailing stop. Wait till them stop you out. I'm making money. I don't see no risk. I'm reducing my risk by having this great algorithm. All right. But just don't try to get on that entrance ramp. What's with these roads, dude? The fucking entrance ramp. Okay, the highway is rated at 70 miles an hour. They want you to go 30 miles an hour down a ramp on a 200-degree turn. What in the fuck are they thinking? And they bank it like it's banked 1 degree? How do you expect a guy in a fucking truck? I mean, what is going on here? Were they afraid if your car stalls, it's going to slide into the fucking crotch of the apex? That's another problem. We have more chance of making money trading than we do of expecting the government to know what the fuck is going on. What a clusterfuck of morons. And I see the cunt over here has decided that for political reasons she's going to open up the economy because she's got competition now. Oh, finally. You can't appeal to somebody that doesn't see the world in reality. So the politicians are just cocksuckers that suck dead dick. Okay, this is just life, and you got to bait them with a dead dick. They have their liking. Okay, so you got to have the bait there, and I guess the bait here in the sense that market's going down. I see that as like, oh, the bears are just like, yeah, dude, it's going to keep tanking. It's just going to go all the way down. Yeah, but on the way, it's not a straight line, right? There's a lot of like, well, got that trade, and got that trade, and yeah, you could sell here. And in the perfect world, it's going to be a stair step to hell, right? You gotta get your political comments in under the wire with a little bit of sex on top. I understand how the robots are algorithmized. Just look at that polyrhythm from the fucking Dominion systems. You see what I'm talking about. Polyrhythms, it's all about the algorithms and the polyrhythms. Bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang. So this is really disturbing to a guy that's long, real big. He's like, holy shit, I can't believe, man, I'm up 500, I'm down 500, I'm up 1,000. You stay the course till you get above this. And here is your first chance to really go, let's just go flat. And we could buy this doji. I would get in the dojis for me. The doji is my dead market. I'm not waiting for the flag here. So on the half-hour chart, I'm seeing that, okay, like here's a doji. This will be a triangle just before the plunge. So I'm not looking at this flag. I'm looking at the small world in here. So how small do you go? Because if you look at this, you go, well, yeah, if I trade this just right, I can make a lot of money. Yeah, the spread and the commissions and the decisions and all that's going to be tough. So maybe you should just go put a buy stop here, sell stop here. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I can't do it, but maybe you can do it, right? Like I said, I've seen, you just can't believe what you see, right? Nobody can believe what they see. They're like, you're wearing 5 masks and you have an oxygen tank? Yes, I do. And I still see people at the store wearing the mask. And I'm like, you're kidding, right? I mean, half you dumb shits have been vaccinated already, right? And I still am just amazed. Now, I was never this cynical, never this distrusting, but wow, they changed my mind. And if you're just going to be an emotional basket fucking case, then I can't do it, you know? I mean, the people running the show are absolutely fucking, they're like a forex trader without a chart. Just reading zero hedge and taking trades blindly in fucking 5 standard lots with $100 in your account at 3,001 leverage. That's what I see. But okay, so I guess I'm just gonna go back to my guitar playing. I got to program this fucking unit off my Android. Try to come up with some interesting. Of course, it is very fun. I'm not an effects guy, but everybody in the band's playing with effects, and when I put effect on, it makes me play like I assume. It's almost like 10 genders, you know. I feel like if I put on a delay, I'm all of a sudden I'm David Gilmour, and I start playing all these. I just watched this movie where they play music and people jump off of buildings because they got a chip in their brain. Yeah, it's interesting. I can't remember the name of the movie, but guy wrote a book, sci-fi book, and this guy plays it out in real life. Still didn't see it. They're still missing some stuff on that. You can't just put all effects out there. You need a melody. So you got a lot of people these days, they just produce the show, overproduce music, you know. You need some kind of root cause there. You got to tell a story. And that's the thing. But yeah, this guy's just gonna go. You know, he's got a thing, and you know, bless his heart. People like this stuff. You know, if you look at the comments, and people like Gartley trading. You know, for God's sakes, they like you throw it out there, they love it. I figure it's like clothing. You know, so some guys like skirts, some guys like leather pants. You know. And I think it just becomes a matter of taste at some point. I mean, it should be, because if you're going to trade your money, you really should just have, you know, it's such a private situation unless you're going to open up your own prop firm or you're going to have a PAM account. And, you know, I would just, in the PAM thing, I'm going to say, okay, so it's an extra step. If you're going to get paid 10%, commissions on it, I guess that's like an agent's fee. I would charge 10% to trade that. I think I'd let the robots trade that stuff, and because it would be parallel with my trade in a sense, but the idea that people are going to do a copy trade and somebody's going to copy, that's only one account. Not all my accounts are going to make money. This is another thing, is that not only are not all my trades going to make money, but some of my accounts are going to get hit because they're going to put on a harebrained fucking trade. There's no getting around that. And this is when, so if I had some kids, which I don't, I would force them to play. I would force them to trade, like clean up your room and put on a trade, or I'll kill you, you know, just, you know, personal. Looks like he's not paying commissions on this broker. No commissione, because I just noticed his profit. Stuff occurs to you here in the middle of the video, but, you know, I don't know, man. The robot is like, some guy asked in the Discord, anybody trading robots? Yeah, I guess so. And I can actually curve fit these robots, which is what I want to do is like, okay, I see an opportunity coming up. I see the market's going to do X. So I perceive it's possible. And I'm going to pick a robot and a couple robots, or I'll just write a stack at 20K on one robot that launches every hour. And I think it's a fair starting point because we can see, well, how deep are these tickets? How tight is the stop? And I'm going to have unique stops in every ticket and unique targets, and that's all going to be written hard, right? So there's a 20 pip deep bot and there's a 50 pip deep bot. And the 50 pip deep bot with the wide stops and the wide targets needs to run on the guppy. And it's running in the background, say. And this would be on the demo account. I wouldn't mind commingling that. But we can't start scalping the guppy and swing trading the guppy all in one account. And this isn't a PAM. I'm speaking of the PAM world of like people that don't want to, and this is the only way I can even, it's $100 to invest. And I make 10%. And I'm going to put $1,000. The account is going to start with like a $500. Actually, I would probably just take the account with $300 and trade it up and just keep trading it up and build it. And then when it gets to a fat enough amount and there's enough history there, this isn't going to take work. I don't know if I want to do it, but maybe look at the robot's doing it. I can say, look at this Schlock bot is getting X. You know, it's doing good. And all I have to do there is come in and, but see now, you're going to have to put it on a cloud probably because a virtual computer, because some people in the United States, because you're going to have to keep that thing, you can't afford to have it be, what if your power goes out, right? Because if people got their money in there, of course, so this is the other thing that I would offer is that if anybody did this, I think it's the only logical way to do it, is that you get your $100 back anytime you want. So there's no, basically you're trading with the house's money. Now I've heard these prop firms do this bullshit, but mine would blow it away. This idea blows it away because, there's no middleman bullshit. Like these are, well, the first you come trade at our prop firm, and this is why I just can't stand the no nonsense thing. Oh, you come and trade a prop firm, you get real good trading, then the first $10,000 is yours, and then we start taking half. What the fuck's that? Like, I would say, listen, you put in 100, you can have it back at any fucking time, even if we blow up the account, right? Because we want to put your 100 in escrow. It's on the side. That's part of, if the account goes, so the account is at 10 grand and it goes to 5 grand. We already put the stuff in another, we got it. Got your $100. Who's not signing up for that? There's $100. Let it just, sit back and watch your money grow. Now maybe you're only making $200 a month on that account. And, you can take your money out at any time. Take out your whole thing. Of course, that or maybe you should only take out half, although you could take the whole thing out. Because if you start to diminish the pool of money, and I guess this is like an open source kind of like trusting people, but who cares, right? This hopefully it's not going to be like leaving a bicycle in the rack there. Oh, the government's got free bikes and they all get stolen and vandalized in 1 week. Of course. But I don't know how that works, and maybe somebody knows how that shit works, but I'm just a person that can see a chance to make money from MT4 and a script bot, I call it. It launches my scripts. It just launches trade plans. It doesn't look at anything. I wish it could look at the volatility or could look at the and this is limit only bot. I wish I could see the volatility so it could launch a different bot. If I got 4 bots running and so what you do is you put up €4 and you have magic numbers for each robot, and they're running, one's a half hour, one's a 30 minute, and they're just churning away at the market. And of course you have to, in the PAMA thing, you need a multiple account system too. And I actually had the platform once, and some brokers have it. It's an MT4 platform, and all it does is look at multiple accounts. It's like a management, it's like a portfolio version of MT4. It's multiple account MT4. And you can see all the stuff in there. And that's how you have to do that. That's another problem is if you do that, you got to have that. Once you go there, so once you get the pedal board, you get your power supplies. Now you're running out of fucking places to plug in all your toys. But I think in the end, it's going to be, does anybody really want to spend any time on this shit? Or do they want to have this, they just want a goober bot like this guy's, they want no nonsense is what they want, right? But there is no sense and no nonsense because you're kind of trying to, I know you're trying to simplify it. Now I'm always saying that, a retard can make more money. And you're really trying to get rid of all the overthinking by having a simple system. But I think mine's better because I'm trolling the market for unique baby black swans, so to speak, wicks and spikes, and that is running in the background, something I don't want to drop every 15 minutes, and I've done it. But I think my 15-minute robot and a half-hour robot is going to be the answer because a 4-hour robot, I could hand drop those 4-hour scripts. So I'm only going to let my robots do like half-hour, 15-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour max. Or maybe up to 4 hours. Up to 4 hours because when it comes to the 8 hours, I'm going to hand place those. And I can also I can build scripts that are just going to make 5 pips. An 8-hour script that's hand placed in a sweet spot, say anywhere here. Like I just have like a big fat ticket here with everything's going to cash out in that zone. And that is the script that I ran years ago. British pound, I'll never forget it. British pound goes smashing down and it just takes out this price and wow. Bing bing. And I never saw the trade. It was just done, one and done. It's not the same trading as, well, I'm waiting for this thing to come back to the moving average, and I got that set up right. We sell here, we put a stop here, we run the blah blah blah. Now I'm talking about like this. We got sell limit robots running and buy limit robots running in the half hour. Bing bang, and it's actually picked up a winning. It built a winning hedge in here. It went short, it went long, and not in the United States, but, that's what I'm talking about. And that's going to work because I ran that with real money, like I said. Problem is, I didn't have my tablet in front of me, so if I ever did that again, I'd have the tablet and I would just close all winning trades. In that situation, because there's no way I'm going to open up 8 currency pairs. So if I run 8 currency pairs, I am going to take all profits because I open each chart and try to judge, well, should I stay in this trade? No, fuck. I'm just using the robot to throw limits in because I don't have time to put all those tickets in. So the style of babysitting the market, I could still do that. I'm still waiting for a setup. In the background, I got limits filling bullshit trades. It's obvious, And is it going to get trapped? Well, if I determine that I'm risking $20 an hour because I'm putting 20K in with 10K stops, 10 pip stops on a 20K every hour, I'm risking $20 an hour to make maybe $40 an hour in the hourly term of risk. So I'm risking every day. Now, if I start getting filled on these things, the market's crashing in, and the robot keeps on, Fantasia, Mickey Mouse with the brooms, and they're carrying the water buckets. Now it's just too much, right? I have to allow for that. There'll be one of those days when, well, that script is too tight and it's launching too often, but I know it's every hour. And it could launch every hour and the script lasts for half an hour, and I'm actually cutting my risk in half now. So my total exposure is every other half hour I've got a real elaborate bank in, and now I can put a more elaborate script in. Maybe I'm getting too deep into it, but That's the way I see it. And because how can, waiting for these premium setups and cherry picking and building curve fitted algorithms is ridiculous. Accept the curve fit and say, oh, I think this could happen today. It's going to be a wild market. Launch the buy and sell limit bot and just let the fucker go. And you still got to watch it. It's not like it's. Now, the other thing coming in behind that, which kind of overcomplicated a little bit because you're kind of changing the script as it was hard written, is to have the trailing stop bot come in and manage some of these moves, right? But you might need to do that, right? And so the amount of need, everything's on a dial here. So in the high granular world of trading small tickets like this, there's no big mistakes. There's little mistakes that maybe add up to X, and of course we could see the leaking. But this isn't like a giant hemorrhage. We're not going to blow the account up because it's a slow blow fuse. Now, if you trade raw and hard with no stops, and you take positions based on, I think this is going to happen, and you believe in it, and you go all in, risk the whole account. You know that you could possibly blow up the account, or you could just flip it amazingly, go from $1,000 to $50,000 in a month. You could do that trade. There's no way you couldn't do that trade. If you look at the chart with the right sides, the right entry, without blowing up the account, once the account goes from 1,000 to 3,000, and you see that, oh, fuck, we're about to fall in a 5-month vacuum here. We're about to go where no man's gone before. If you're along the stock market right now, you're like, holy shit, fuck, I have a buddy that's in. He won't get out because he doesn't want to pay taxes. And maybe that's what's going on there too. So, there's so many reasons, but in my mind, it's because it's going where no man's gone before. The Star Trek trade. Roddenberry bull market. And there you go, so there's no answer. And of course, the guy that was on, he was afraid to trade. He was trading the demo stuff. And this is, if you input, it's not set up. Trading is not set up for normal checklists that you put onto everyday life. It just doesn't have these kind of situations. Like you go, when you drive in your car, you look down to see if there's enough gas in the car. In the trading world, is there enough money in the account? Can you make it? But you don't know. When you get in your car, you kind of know, I'm going to go to the store, X, okay, I might hit a few people, but, we'll make it there, and then we'll make it home. And trading, you may never make it home. So you may end up getting mileage that is really bad one day, and some days the mileage is really good. And so I don't think they're looking at the gas gauge going, what the fuck? What happened, dude? I was just going to the store and it cost me a tank of gas to go to the store. What the fuck? That is just not going to ever, people aren't going to like that. Go, how can I cure that? Well, what we could do here is put a moving average on your erratic driving here and kind of slow you down a little bit. Looks like you were stuck in first gear there, son. You went to the store and said, well, what was the RPMs you was doing? Oh, well, see, there you go. So, yeah, if you just, this would be overtrading the account, right? You're stuck in first gear. A car's at 10,000 RPMs. You're doing 50 miles an hour. But you like the torque's good. I can change a lane, dude. Dude, I got plenty of fucking torque. So that's leverage, right? So the torque, the leverage, all these things, boy, people just want a nice limo drive. They want to get into this indicator here. I got it. Anyways, I gotta go take a nap now. I just got up too early. It's coffee. Don't drink coffee in the morning, people. So you got 2 hours. I guess that's my limit. I'm still recovering from my 12-hour stream. Everybody calling in, and then the stream I did there on the other day. I didn't know the chat wasn't on and stuff, and the Russian trader there, the crude oil. But the crude oil looks like it's stalled out into the floor. I don't want to get in the charts, but I just want to talk about the, there's more than one way to make money trading. And of course, you could do what this guy's doing, which is $100. He sold $100 Goober bot. And I guess he's spending time to babysit people. And of course, that's a whole other industry, and that's why the PAM thing, it sounds like a good idea. And a lot of these sound like good ideas. Like, wouldn't it be great to have like 10 amplifiers on the wall and have a real wall of sound, like 10 pig noses? I don't know what a pig nose amp is, but it's a very small amplifier. I just have a surrounded sound, pig nose surrounded sound system. And, right, that sounds like a good idea on this face. But then, of course, execution-wise, you're like, I don't know. I can't seem to get, what's the shipping on that? I don't know. Does anybody care, right? Does anybody care? But, of course, we only care in this world of trading because we're trying to make money. So the bottom line, they say, then romance, is the Gartley patterns and the candlesticks because, girls love the candles. And that candlestick trading, and boy, man, what an industry, huh? And you don't even have to make money. You could just write a candlestick book and take a trip to Japan, and you could actually have a candlestick sushi bar, I think. How about forex sushi bar? I come in here and trade the Asian session. Welcome to forex sushi bar. Thank you for coming. But let that go. So back to normal life here. But yeah, look at the charts, and I'll put the link to the scripts in here, and the script launch thing. It's all in there. I guess I should just put all the links in there, but boy, that's work too, isn't it? Or you could just manual place it. But I said manual is tough. I mean, my hands are just, I'm getting old and my hands are just, I guess I got to do some exercises. This chronic movements is the problem, right? Is every time we're doing the same thing over and over again. And boy, you don't have to be lifting a 100-pound weight to get fatigued. Just picking up a pencil, which I have to cross-train my hands now. I got to do different things, and maybe fingertip push-ups is or hanging from my fingertips. Like, get those little Chinese finger traps, just hang yourself from the ceiling. Something like that, Stretch out the ligaments. Get some, what is it, the acupuncture guy over here with the electric. Put the car battery through the acupuncture rods. And all that stuff. Actually, I did a lot of martial arts so that I would psychologically not be bothered by trading. And I guess that's the war room approach to trading. That I guess that's the adventure of it. And I don't want to take that fun away. And I guess the Holy Grail kind of kills it. It's kind of kills it, the idea that you just, the robot says buy and sell, and you just pull a trigger. That almost takes the fun out of it. It seems like you make more money if you're having fun trading it and seeing all the drama there and make money from the drama. Because, if you just, I understand if you've never traded and you don't find it to be fun and just want to make money, that you're probably going to buy one of these. You're going to be a no-nonsense algorithmic, back-tested. This works over 10 years and stuff. And I always think that's funny when Ryan Brown says stuff like, this is a back-tested 20 years. I'm like, yeah, but, past ain't the future. So this is going to be some psycho stuff coming up this summer. I can't imagine how many. Let the riots begin. We need a forex riot. Mastering forex riots. I'm going to torture the robot here on close. Yeah, Dominion Forex. Yeah, that's my system. We do the poly algos, anti-prop trading. Yeah. Let's see, I guess some of the robots something to chew on there. Anyways, good luck.